stuff, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun.
It was the first time I've really seen you scrape a lot of mud, Phil, and to get down there and get dirty like that too.
Well, that's every night, baby, in the pits, buddy.
You were just crew chief, and
you don't
like
see
I normally
him scraping mud very often, but good thing I snapped a picture, right?
Oh, you snapped a picture on me, did you?
But
just remember, paybacks are tough, buddy.
I know, but no, it was great. I mean, that's a really cool event. I mean, that was our first time ever going out there, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, the cold weather aside, I mean, I'm really glad we made the trip. I mean, like Phil said, we learned a lot about pitting the late model and what we need to do, and just I'm excited to get our race season going out here in the Plain States.
While you guys were learning about race cars, I was learning about the concession stands and different things that they had going on. And I'll tell you what, they have a good thing going up there.
They do.
Their concession stands are unreal. Phil made us eat before we went to the racetrack, remember?
Yeah.
Because we weren't sure, and that was probably the best food that we had at the racetrack, But it was awesome. They made it an event. They had guys playing music out there before the races started, and Flo does a great job, but they didn't get the mountain scene in the background. When you're sitting in the grandstand, you see that mountain scene, there ain't nothing cooler than Votto.
No, and that facility, I thought Wheatland had it on everybody, but I'm not sure that Votto doesn't got it on Wheatland.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of Dodge City, how the track is with the wall and the exit out turn 3 and the entrance on turn 4. It's just in a hole. It's kind of neat how that was all set up. And And then with the cold weather, we got to sit in the vehicle.
Who did?
Me and Kelby. We got to sit in the vehicle, and we watched the racing right there from the vehicle, and that was awesome.
Yeah, it wasn't cold for Kyler, but it was cold for everybody else.
No, the old wagon.
We wondered where he was at, didn't we?
Oh, yeah.
And you guys all thought I was going to sit on those aluminum bleachers. No way, baby. Because I sitting on those things.
I made that mistake the first night.
Oh, man, it was cold. The only thing that I wish they would do is DoorDash their concession stand to the car. Because it was a long walk over there.
Yeah.
But Josh, did you hear that? Josh got on the screen. He's down there taking care of technical stuff. But Josh, you hear that? He had a long walk to the concession stand.
Well, I certainly apologize about that. So we got live this morning. The mic wasn't on, so it's on now. Everybody can hear. Yeah. So
any questions coming across there we need, Josh?
Yeah, we just had a couple of Delbert with us this morning. So Good morning, Delbert. He's actually
Delbert's here live today.
And then Rex says,
"Come on, jump on the camera for a minute, Delbert."
There you go. I've got Rex says, "Good morning, fellas," and then Dalton, "Hey, thanks for letting us know we didn't have any sound, but we're good to go now." So
yeah. But going back to our schedule, we went down there and like you said, while you guys were learning on the race car, I learned the different racetracks. It's fun to go to the different racetracks and see how they do things, and they put on a great show, and it gave us some ideas. I took some good notes from that to make our shows at Dodge City and at Salt City a lot better. It's just cool to go learn from different facilities. But on tap, we're sitting here next to Keith Kuntz's booth, and we're starting the series, the season out of Dodge City with High Limits. But one of the most things I'm excited about is to get Keith and his group here. That's going to be 200 micros coming to Dodge City.
It's going to be incredible.
How awesome is that? And I got to experience it. Kelby got to race it at Port, and it was just an unreal event. And we're so excited to have Keith and his crew come and do that Give Back Classic at Dodge City.
Well, let's get into everything you're doing at Dodge City, because you got a lot of huge races coming up, buddy.
Yeah. So like I said, we're going to start with the High Limits, which is it's going to be awesome. I mean, to have 410s back at Dodge City, it's been, I think 2020 was the last time the World Outlaws were there. And so to get those guys to come back to Dodge City, and we're going to piggyback with Amarillo. So thanks to Marcus for taking that show the night before. But,
okay. What else on your? You got more races than just that one. What else? Other big?
Yeah. So then we got some weekly shows. And what's cool this year about our weekly shows is we're bringing my United Rebel Sprint Series in weekly, as well as the United Rebel Late Model Series in weekly. We made the business decision to get rid of the stock car division. The car counts were just not there. So we are going to run sprint cars weekly, and we're going to run late models weekly as well. So that's going to be part of our core classes. And then in May, we've got the Give Back Classic, and then we have the ASCS coming back with the national tour for the Steve King Memorial in June. I'm so excited to have the Dave Garman again at Dodge City. This will be the third year that we've hosted that. And thanks to Steve and his family for allowing us to pay tribute to Dave and what he did in the motorsports world. We had 38 late models last year, and it was a great show. The first year we did it,
it's going to be 39 this year.
39,
because there's one more coming for sure.
I've talked to a lot of the stock car guys. A lot of the stock car guys have went out and bought late models, and some of the sport mod guys have too. So hopefully we can hit maybe 45. That'd be really cool to get that tier for third year. Each year it grows, so that's important. If it's 39, I'll be happy with that, as long as we can grow that deal and make something of it. And then we've got a lot of we have another regional ASCS show. The Western Plains region's coming out. Then to end our season, we have got the USAC National Non-Wings. And Tommy's excited to bring them back. It's been a lot of years since the USAC guys have been to Dodge City, and they're excited to come back there.
If you haven't seen a USAC non-wing 410 sprint car show,
oh man,
you'll be in for a treat, especially at a track like Dodge City. I bet they'll have those things pitched sideways by the middle of the back straightaway.
Wouldn't that be awesome? That's good. I'm so excited. I was a little worried about it being in October, but if Votto can race with snow on the ground,
why can't we? Right?
Why can't
That's right.
we?
Yeah, I thought a lot about that too. Talking about the schedule at Salt City, so we'll get into that schedule here in a little bit. But thought of the same thing. Why can't we race a little longer? I mean, if Votto's going to race in that colder temperature, I guess we could, right?
Yeah, I mean, you go back to Votto, their main grandstand was probably lacking of what I felt like it should be for that caliber of race, but they're streaming on it. And Flo does a good job about giving back to the racetracks as far as streaming rights go. I can't imagine the numbers. Everybody I talked to said, yeah, we were watching that race. You were down there? Yeah, we were down there. We watched it, So that's neat that people tune in for shows like that. And I think they said they were giving out like over $350,000 worth of purse money that week.
That's it was a big week.
Yeah.
That's a big week. So you need to come out and support that. If we can get out there as racers and get people can come out there and watch live, but it was still a good crowd. But
they had quite a few race cars. I don't know where their car count ended up compared to previous years or stuff like that, but it didn't seem like the weather shied anybody away from
not on the race car
point
side. Yeah, it even brought Kansas guys down there, and some like Troy Gimmel and them traveled from Oklahoma to come down there and race their modified, and Tyler Davis from Wichita. So that was kind of cool to see some of our local guys down there racing too.
Yeah.
Yep, sure was.
Give me a fun season at Dodge City. We talk about Votto, but it just pumped us up. It got me pumped up to get everything going for this season.
I just can't wait to go. We got a couple months here before we can go race. Is a problem. But
yeah.
So anyway, hey, got a couple questions, at least a question or two. Here is Tim Daniel wants someone to explain tire doping. Nick, you want to take that one?
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it, so you can talk about it.
Well,
hey, here you go.
Just put me on the spot here, why don't you? But no, there are some chemicals that you can concoct on your own, and there are even some companies that make some chemicals that you can put either on the outside of your tire or on the inside of your tire that will chemically change the compound of the rubber on that tire.
Basically making it softer.
Making it softer when that tire builds heat. Everybody that does it, I guess.
Everybody does it. Everybody that does it.
Everybody that does it. Everybody that does it, I guess, claims they've got a concoction that's undetectable, but I've never heard anything that got sent to a tire lab come back and not get detected, I guess.
There was, I think maybe Tim, I saw the video here. It looked probably the promoter here got on and someone taped him talking about tire doping here.
Well, it was Cody Cordell, the director for the ASCS. He's the tech director here. He said, we'll catch it. We don't care what it is, it'll catch.
We'll catch, yeah.
So,
but anyway, it's a way that has been done over the years, and now these companies have been able to run the tests and stuff. And basically, you just take a sliver of the tire when the race is over and send it off to a lab, and they can find it.
But you go back to tire doping. So, like, Simple Green will soften a tire, but everybody cleans their tires with Simple Green. When we raced karts, we would douse our tires with Simple Green and wrap the things. And they would soften those tires up.
Yeah.
Where do you draw the line? I guess you do what you feel like you got to do until you better have a drometer. I guess if it drometers, that's kind of how we check
but
it.
a lot of times you can treat the tire and it won't change it, on the durometer. But I mean, in this day and age with the tire teching kind of becoming a part of tech, in general, especially at some of these bigger races. I mean, what I've, as the tire, distributor, what I've always told racers is hot water out of your pressure washer.
Clean
and
your
that's
tires.
all you need.
Yeah.
Don't spray anything on them. When you go to the car show, don't spray tire shine all over the tire. Don't do any of that. Just clean them with hot water, and that's it.
Yeah. And like you said, Nick, that's all the tire needs to get clean from that part. So, Tim, I hope we answered your question on that. And
and one of the things I would say is being from the distributor side and being able to have the advantage of going to Hoosier and looking at how they manufacture the tire and then the research and development that goes into the tire and everything like that. Like if there was like tuning a diesel now, right? Like if the manufacturer could do something to that tire and make it a little bit better, I think they would, right?
Well,
and still be able to keep the structural integrity of that tire.
Well, and here's the thing of it, Josh. Let's go back to what everybody complains about the G60. It's too hard. It's got plastic in it, all that kind of stuff. But IMCA made that tire be that way to give it less traction. So it would make a driver more to drive the car. And I will tell you, Jake will tell you that because he's run the American Racers and he's run the G60. And the American Racer tire is a softer tire than the Hoosier. And it is a lot harder to drive without Hoosier tire. So now what the YMCA is trying to do is, can guys go in and soften that tire and change it? Yeah, sure could.
But I think I think on the IMCA tire in particular, I think the way that tire is constructed and the way that synthetic rubber is on that tire, we already know that, tire management on the IMCA tire is really important. You know what you can get out of that tire. And, if you go beyond that and try to get more out of it, we know, what can happen with that tire.
It's happened
to
us.
I think when you take that tire with that kind of rubber and you go out there and you try to chemically alter it, I think at the end of the day, you're probably going to be hurting yourself because you're really going to risk that tire just coming apart and chunking out anyway.
Yeah. So when you talk about tire prep, there's prep out there, right? That will help the tire wear itself too, right? Like the make the tire last longer.
Well, okay, so let's get into that, man. We everybody does exactly the same. When you're on American Racer, you're on a Hoosier. You first start off, you grind the tire with a sanding pad, and then that's another theory that everybody's got a different opinion. What pad to use, how fast to turn it, what grit to use, all that kind of stuff. And then we go in and we actually groove the tire. And IMCA back in the COVID days decided to let people start grooving tires, which I wish they would take that away. I think that changed it too much. Yeah. For what that tire is supposed to do. The grooving needs to go away, but I don't know how IMCA is going to stop it. Do you, Nick?
No, I don't. I really don't.
I don't either. So anyway, then the next thing, Kyle, we're going to, we'll sipe the tire, which is little razor blades. And that's another art, is being able to know how deep to go, how wide to go, how many to put in there. So there's all kinds of art there to do that. And that's where we've made it the Hoosier tire fail, is we have grooved them too deep.
I ruined one of Kelby's tires one time before he was getting ready to go out for a heat race on his cart. Yeah. Got a little too deep.
Yeah.
And, you really got to be paying close attention to what you're doing when you get that groover or that siper in your hand, because if you get down to where you make that vulcanization of the rubber onto the carcass vulnerable, I mean, because, a tire, when it gets hot, everything expands. And then when that starts to stretch, and if you put a little razor blade slit through, that bond onto the carcass of the tire, well, when that tire gets hot, now all of a sudden it's that wide. And that's when you see, that's when you start seeing delamination and you start seeing tread chunking off, is because it can't hold any longer, and it just rips off like a Band-Aid.
So one of the old ASCS drivers told me one time, he said that they don't dope tires because they felt like it was wearing out their sidewalls. The tire wouldn't flex as well, or it flex too much. Does it affect the sidewalls when you dope a tire?
It can, because the sidewall's rubber too.
And but it's a harder rubber, probably, right?
It is, yeah. It's a different rubber, but I don't. Yeah, it's really kind of hard to say. I mean, I think there's probably so many different types of chemicals that you could treat the tire with that, they could probably do different things. But
so bottom line is, let's not do it. We're not going to catch it.
Yeah.
We don't have to spend money to send it off to Blue Ridge and get it all checked out.
I'm not a chemist for one, and that seems like a whole hell of a lot more work.
Right.
So,
well, and I don't know, and like you said, Kyler, too, does it really help the performance or does it not? Or if you run a 30-lap race, is it really performing better through that whole 30 laps, or is not? Is the tire management, is that tire going to last as long? I don't know. There's a reason there's rules, and the reason it's there, and it's the reason that tire is set there. But Josh, to your point, is if they could make a better tire, I know they would, and make it do what it needs to do from that part. But again, there's opinions out there like, everybody's got one, right?
Well, and the thing about racing, though, and what I've seen just in the several tracks we've been to here lately is the compound of the dirt is so different at each one of them too. Like that's got to be a huge equation in a lot of ways. This you set up the car,
Yeah.
Not only is it the moisture, but just the actual dirt itself.
Right.
It's crazy.
Well, Josh, when we get to the track and then that trailer's full of tires that Jake is prepped and ready, and depending on what that track is, which tire we're going to throw on, right, Nick?
That's right.
He's got a different groove pattern for different stuff and a different sight pattern. And then, of course, then you got the stagger.
Yeah.
On the rear that you're in, from the left side to right side on both front and rears on getting that stagger right. There's more to it, deal and everything. We missed a few times, haven't we, Nick?
We have.
Shouldn't have, but we should have.
It happens. And cars are different too. Like we've got one chassis that likes this, and we've got another chassis that likes this, and so I don't know. It's always trial and error. I don't feel like you ever have it down pat. I think it's always a little bit of trial and error because no two scenarios in dirt track racing are ever the same.
No.
The goal is, what can we do to make it better today?
Right. Right.
So anyway, I guess we kind of got a little bit too much there, Tim, but I hope we got all your answers on tire doping and what it amounts to from that part. So, hey, call in show 316-462-3673. Love to hear from you. Anything ailing your cars or what we're supposed to be talking about, but today it's racing. We're at the Chili Bowl, hanging out. Josh, I don't know, how many years have we done this?
I'm going to say this is probably our, 5th or 6th,
Oh, it's more than that. More than that, dude.
Yeah.
Time flies when you're having fun.
It does.
Remember the first time we snuck in on the deal?
I do remember that.
Front gate. We couldn't get internet, couldn't get an internet connection and all that kind of stuff. And Brian Holbert, the announcer, he used to get on with us, but they start racing. I've only heard about one race go so far. They start racing at 9. He used to start racing at 10, so Brian could always spend a little time with us on the show before we'd go, but he can't do that now that he's announcing. So
he's a busy guy.
Missed that part too. So anyway, 316-462-3673. Get your questions coming. We'd love to hear from you. If not, we're going to keep talking about racing and stuff. So, Kyler, have we covered everything new and exciting at Dodge City?
I mean, and there's still a lot more to come. I'm pretty proud of our concession stands at Dodge City. And every year I change it up just a little bit and add things. And this year it's not going to be different. Looking at talking to some of my food vendors on how we can change it up a little bit. So there's gonna be a surprise in food in the concession
surprise.
stand. Yeah, surprise. We're not gonna release everything today.
Yeah. Well, anyway, make sure you label everything correctly, Kyler.
No. That was
because I thought I was getting at Botto. I was getting a walking taco, but I ordered a Frito pie, and Josh had to have it, so I gave it to him.
No, that's not how that worked out. And you said you wanted a Frito pie, and you got a Frito pie.
That was
it wasn't what I thought it was going to be.
It was a pretty epic Frito pie, really.
In your mind, you were thinking Waco Taco. Like I could see the wheels
when they flopped that down on the counter. I went no,
and you got it. I was
Speaking of Frito pies, this is the Chili Bowl, and they do have a good chili stand here. So when this show is over, I will be having me a Frito chili pie.
I've had those jump for that.
Go order a walking taco and see what you get.
Yeah, we was debating on the Philly cheesesteak though too, Nick. It's pretty damn good too.
Oh man, we may have to do.
Kyle, you got a Philly cheesesteak in your stand?
No, I thought about it, but
maybe that was a surprise. Now you ruined it. Way to go.
No, I was thinking about bringing calf fries in. What do you think of calf fries?
Yeah, let's go.
Have a ball in Dodge City.
I will tell you.
That's pretty good.
I will tell you, you aren't the first person at Dodge City Raceway to serve calf fries if you do that. So back when I was racing in Dodge City Weekly, when Ed Beckley was running the racetrack, he served calf fries. And he tossed them in buffalo sauce, and he called them hot nuts.
Hot nuts. There we go. Well,
Uh-oh. Got a caller coming up,
We got a caller.
but it's not who I think it is.
It's not. Yes, it is.
No.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
I think she mistyped is what it is.
I would assume so too.
So let's see what's up on his sleeve when he gets in here.
And I'd say let's make that a call-in question. Call in with your favorite concession stand food.
There
we go.
You're going to an event somewhere.
You know,
What are-
Salina has
racetrack
gizzards. Fred
concession.
does gizzards at Swine, and that's a really cool thing too.
I'm out on the gizzards.
Yeah, you're out. Okay,
Yeah,
well, let's go to the phones and let's talk to. I'm assuming this is Jordan.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's not what they typed in on the text of who was calling in.
I bet.
You're on live with Under the Hood. Good
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah, but first you got to answer the question, Jordan. What's your favorite concession stand food at the racetrack?
Well, I mean, considering I sell concession stand food at the racetrack, probably my steak sandwiches.
I thought maybe it was that cheeseburger you like to throw.
Oh, you heard about that, did you?
It may have come up in passing. Yes.
You guys got memories like damn elephants.
We heard a version of the story.
And
I'm sure there's another one out there.
And I'm sure Jordan's version is a little different, don't you think, Nick?
I'm sure.
I want to know who left something out. Is Jordan going to leave something
There's
out?
not much to tell. I threw my delicious cheeseburger at someone because they put their head down and charged me like a little bull. And I'm not great with my left, and my right had a cheeseburger in it. So I did the only thing, quick thinking. I chucked the cheeseburger, and it worked. He ran off. It worked.
I mean, if you're willing to throw a cheeseburger, what else are you willing to do?
Yeah.
That's what I'd look at if I was coming at you.
Right.
Well, what you don't know is, so after that, it worked. He ran off, and I was like, all right, well, I guess we're done with that. And then about 15 minutes later, I looked down the midway, and there's like a lynch mob just walking toward our pit. And I was like, oh boy, he went and rallied the troops. And
so it was
a bad deal.
All right. Well, I didn't mean to bring up the flying the cheeseburger around, but I thought that was maybe your favorite food. So that's why I was just curious.
It is. No, if I had to pick a favorite concession food, it's the Iowa pork tenderloins. They sell up at Knoxville. Oh my God, they're good.
Oh yeah, those are good.
Yeah, the Knoxville pork tenderloins with the what is it, the Cattlemen's Association or something? Those are delicious.
Delicious.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
unbelievable.
You know, Knoxville has a popcorn chicken up there. It's pretty good too.
Yeah.
They got good concession.
Iowa pork producers sell the pork tenderloin. Cattlemen's Association be beef, Nick. But
Cattlemen's is
close.
the ribeye steak sandwiches at the Boone Super Nationals, which I will say
Correct.
is my favorite racetrack concession food of all time.
Well, that's where I got the idea. So
There you go.
Yeah.
So what else is going on, Jordan? We got your question out of the answer. So it's your steak sandwich, not the cheeseburger, for your favorite food. But
yeah. Well, I had a question about the midget cars, which I think a lot of people might want to know. You know, I know that most of the race cars, modified, late models, even sprint cars and drag cars, you know, they're mocked up a small block Chevy or a small block Ford, big block Ford. You know, originally it was something. How many cylinders are the midgets? What were they originally in? Are they all aftermarket? You know, I mean, what do those? I mean, I can tell they're 4 cylinders because they only got 4 pipes coming out of them on one side. But what OEM version of that be? I think that was no.
I don't know.
And it's
I mean, it's like 3 type of motor, brands of motors running. You got the Toyota, then you've got the Inslinger. What do you?
So the original Inslinger engines were based model of inline. Okay. Of like stuff you're getting for those. So I think that's kind of engines today are kind of a hybrid. Like, back in the day, you had Jerry Wilson doing the V4, where they would basically the V half and have a V4.
I believe they called the Aussie Killer.
I think that was what it's called. Yep. And then yeah, a lot of these engines today, I think, are just based off of a 410 one bank cut off the side. So.
Right on. Well, yeah, I was curious. I didn't know if they were ever OEM anything bumblebees, but I didn't know what the OEM mock was on that. But it sounds like it's kind of protracted to where it's really not mocked up of anything anymore. Huh?
Yeah, I don't think it is. I don't know. I really don't know that answer, but hopefully, if they, depending on our line here of drivers coming, it's going to depend on how they did and when they're going to be here and that sort of thing, when we're going to get them on the air. That good question for those guys. Hopefully one of those guys can actually answer that question and tell us what we got. Kyle's definitely supposed to be here this morning, but he hasn't made it yet. I'm sure he was up late last night. That's why he's still getting rested up, because I'm sure I think he made the 8, didn't he?
I'm not sure if Kyle
Yeah,
did.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. But anyway, so that'll be a good question. We can get those guys answered up on.
Well, yeah, he made the 8 last night, but I don't know if he made the 8. He didn't lock in for tonight.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So who knows what time he got out of here and everything else when he get here. So got a couple of other drivers coming in too, so maybe they can answer that question too.
Right on, guys. Well, I'll keep listening to the show. I'm gonna go tune in slow and watch a little midget racing. You guys have safe travels back, all right?
Will, thanks for calling in, buddy.
Later.
See you, man. Anyway, Austin Kruger, good morning. John LaSalle, good morning. The VW was the hot ticket back in the 70s and 80s. Okay.
Is that from John?
John, yeah.
John and no. All
right, we're going to get to the next caller on the line here, 316-622-3673. Anything you want to talk about Chili Bowl, anything to talk about racing coming up, we're here to take your calls today. And who knows, we might go off the air for a little bit and come back when the drivers show up. You don't have a solid schedule. We couldn't get a solid schedule with them depending on how everything went last night and stuff like that too. So we'll see how things go here later on and getting a few drivers on the show with us. So, got another caller coming.
Yep. We'll get them patched through and see what.
And it's
see what
Brett Berry is calling in.
Brett Berry.
Let's see what's on Brett Berry's mind this morning when he gets on here, and he's coming up quick, right, Josh?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So we got him coming through, so we'll see what's on Brett's mind and stuff also. So, Nick, after getting done with Brett, we need to talk about Saltcity. Everything we got going on there, get everybody kind of updated on that situation. Our schedule is out. I've got it printed here on the table, but it's also out on the page, stuff too. So we'll get talking about that also from that part. So where is he at, Josh?
We'll get him patched through. He's headed through. I'm sure. I'm sure of it.
Through.
We got a comment on the line. It says, "Good morning. It's sunny and 70 somewhere."
Did you say that?
It was
Not
from
here.
Bill Lindsay. Yeah, it was from Bill Lindsay. So, hey, let's go to the phones and let's talk to Brett. Brett, you're on live with Under the Hood. Good morning.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, Brett, how you doing, bud?
What's up, man?
Oh, good. Just working away.
Are you? Big city of Hayes?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How's-
Nice cold up here. It's brisk 14 degrees and windy and beautiful day.
Yeah. Any wrecks happening? I hope not, but in your sig, maybe, yeah. Weather good? Or
Actually, I just finished working one now. I'm towing it back to the shop.
All right. Very cool. Hope no one got hurt. Let's just hope it's
Yep. Nobody got hurt. All is well.
that's good. So, buddy, you ready to go some more racing? Where you at? What's happening, buddy?
Oh, put together a new modified, and I have something else in the works as well. It's kind of a surprise, little different than what I've normally done, but I'll still be racing the modified as well. And no, it is not a sport compact.
Well, I'm sure if it was, you'd find a way to win with it.
But no, I wanted to add to the favorite concession stand.
Oh,
food.
yeah.
I'm
Get that out of the
sure-
barrel. You too, yeah.
I'm sure some would agree with this, but the steak sandwich out of Boone Speedway in Boone, Iowa is probably one of my favorite all-time concession food.
Well, sounds like we're gonna have to go to Boone and check this concession stand out. I've never been.
You never been?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah. That's when we usually unload and that thing's up. This year, Brett, me and Nick and Jake were standing there waiting for them to open.
Oh, really?
hey, not to change the subject because I'm a little curious now. This surprise, does it involve a series of a car of a series that I own?
I can't say that's too much information.
Well, just give us a hint. Do I own a series that you could be racing in?
Very possible.
Okay,
Yep.
good deal.
There's a chance that it is, and there's a chance that it isn't.
We're either talking a wing or not a wing, so there we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
But no, I'm excited.
I was going to ask another question, but I think that'd probably give it right away. So I'm not going to.
Here's one of our guys we're going to interview too here. We've got our champion for
Oh,
the
here.
305.
Very good. I'll hop off here and get him on here.
Yeah. So anyway, Brett, so are you getting ready to go and everything?
Yeah, we're gonna try to race down in Texas here in a few weeks, and so we're trying to finish everything up with that and get ready for that and just try something new. I think my plans for this year were to race some local, but also I want to try new things this year. I want to travel places I've never been to and meet new people and just go that route in racing this year. I think is kind of my goal. Start fresh somewhere else, and
Yep. I understand.
make the best of it.
And we'll see.
I understand your point very well, Brett.
And we'll see you next weekend, Brett, in Dodge City for our banquet, right?
Yes, sir. I'll be there.
You're a modified champion, so congratulations on that. And
Yeah,
look
and thank
forward to
you guys for that and for always giving us a place to race and a place that I very much enjoy. And I guess thanks to all of you guys. I know all of you have a hand in that racetrack and surrounding racetracks, and I can't thank you guys enough what you do for racing. So thank you.
Well,
We appreciate it.
That is a big cigar. Do you see that?
Yeah, there's a comment on there. Somebody put it on there, said, yeah, Brett Berry in a midget car, and then it, ha. I don't know. That's somebody put that up there, so.
I think it's meant for Brett, maybe, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Hey, if the seat's open, I might be able to fill it.
have race bag will travel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
Yep. Exactly.
So,
Well, anyway, Brett, good luck this year, and I'm sure we'll run into you somewhere at the racetrack
Yeah.
somewhere.
is it the school bus division? Just tell us if it's the school bus division.
Because I have school buses too.
That is on the bucket list. I don't know if it's this year, but that's someday.
Well, you can drive old Black Betty anytime you want to at Dodge City. We were talking about my debut bus racing deal, and I was wearing dudes and probably should have had a little more support probably than what I had. But
Yeah.
no, we appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah. Okay, you bet. Have a great day, guys. Enjoy it.
Good talking to you.
Thanks for calling in, Brett. Don't work too hard, buddy.
Bye-bye.
All right,
Jeremy Huey sitting over here waiting on us.
We got Jeremy getting ready to get on here. So Josh is getting rid of the headset and stuff too. So we'll get Josh to keep on the technical side and get Jeremy on here. And good morning, Jeremy. I'm good, Josh. And there we go. Yeah, there we got him. You had your mic down.
So where are we at in the suit?
We're actually coming up here pretty quick.
Are you?
We're at L Main.
Okay.
Second
L,
L.
that's not bad.
Well,
Okay.
we won't keep you, but for you guys that don't know Jeremy is my 2024 United Rebel Sprint Series champion. So congratulations on that, Jeremy.
Thank you.
We look forward to crowning you next weekend.
Good job,
So
buddy.
Thank you.
that's an awesome
Thank you.
feat.
Thank you.
When you race, the URSS is not a slouch in the 305 series. It's kind of the car counts are kind of staying steady. It's not as big as it used to be. We're trying to rebuild that and figuring out ways to do that. But the competition that you race against week in and week out with the United Rebels is just bar none, probably some of the best 305s. And he's proved it. He's won Eagle. He's won the
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what happened there. Somebody maybe tried to summon the aliens.
It was crazy what was going on there. Anyway, so now we're back on track. Go ahead, Jim. Threw me for a loop.
So tell us, how's your week been here? Let's talk about the Chili Bowl for a minute.
It's been fun. It's new. It's different. It's
First time?
tough. first time.
All right,
Yep.
good,
I was expecting it to be a very humbling experience.
Yeah.
You know, as soon as you think you're something anywhere back home, and I mean, there's 400 guys here, and 300 of them are good at what they do, and they show up here, and then they're even better in a midget. And you know, it's my third time in a midget, and I have like 0 laps on a track like this, so it's definitely new. It's an awesome experience, and just kind of expanding my, you know, cars that I have raced and tracks that I've raced on and stuff. So it's very cool, and I can't thank Todd Henry enough for the opportunity and all that. Wasn't expecting anything crazy for going out there and, you know, setting the world on fire or anything like that. And we had a heat race, had a little incident, but you know, we're just coming here to have fun. So as far as the week and how it's gone, we've done a great job of having fun. And we're just gonna go out here and maybe try to make it out of a few features and see what happens. And if the car loads up in one piece and we had fun, then that's a win for us.
You didn't bring Cade down here with you, did you?
He's here. Is
he having fun? I'm sure he is.
I'm sure he is. I'm sure the whole group is. So
talk about a bucket list race car. I mean, I'm sure midget's probably one of them, but if you had the opportunity to drive any kind of race car, what car would you want to drive?
Well, now that I got the midget, kind of crossed off that deal. Done the 305, done the 360, done the midget. I mean, the last one for me really is the 410 for, you know, right now, just to say that I've done it. I'd like to get a lot more seat time in a 360 and kind of see where that goes. You know, that it's just hard. The 360 stuff that we have around us now, we got a few local shows, but it forces guys like me to travel a lot more miles than I'm used to, especially from running with the URSS. So looking at traveling some more this year, doing some more 360 stuff. We're going to do some more midget stuff with Todd. And then I also got another opportunity with a different midget team. And then we got 305 stuff, obviously. So it's going to be a busy summer for sure. And yeah, I mean, after those three, I guess the only thing that's left is the 410.
Well, tell Todd that it's not on my schedule over here, but we've added midgets to September 12th and 13th.
Okay.
At Dodge City. So that'll be a lot of fun, too.
Awesome.
It'll be there's an Oklahoma group coming up with Cody Brewer, and then it kind of paired with the Rocky Mountain stuff, what they're doing. So kind of a versus type deal, and that'll be fun to add that. But it sounds to me like you're just kind of an open wheel sprint car kind of guy. No fender things, no fender cars ever strike the fancy to you?
No, I mean, it would be kind of cool. You know, everybody talks about how much different they do drive and stuff like that. But at the same time, just going from the 305 to the 360, I've found myself, you know, trying to get rid of those bad habits from one class to another. And then my heat race down here on Tuesday proved that as well. Kind of getting into the corner thinking I had a wing on top and would have been just fine if I did. And unfortunately I didn't. And, you know, it kind of bit us there. So just the driving styles of everything that we do is hard, and trying to move up in the ranks, you know, in open wheel. I'd kind of like to keep my focus on that as long as I can, because you kind of start picking up some of those bad habits, and sometimes they can bite you. So
you're starting the L?
The
feature,
L.
feature?
Yep. Start on the front row of the L.
There you go. So you can transfer in and get another race in. Sure.
Yeah, we're hoping so. It's kind of a goal that I'd like to have, is if we could transfer out of the L and maybe make it through the K, I think would be cool. But, you know, we don't really have any expectations, because I don't know where to set one and kind of have a goal. So if I could transfer into the K and maybe make it out of that into the J, I'd be really happy.
That would be a success. And you're right. Some races you and I went to, we went to run with like the USMTS, and we just make the show. That's a win for us.
Yep.
Good for you, buddy.
So we've got an engine guy right here, works for Myers Engine. Explain to us the midget engines.
Yeah, we had a couple callers ask about that. And
Yep.
we don't know much about them. We know the course on about all we know.
Well, there's all sorts of different nations. That's what's kind of cool about this deal. You can see some of them out there with different header combinations that come out the right side versus the left side. Some of them that just sound totally different. But all the high dollar ones, they're all a billet block. You know, fancy heads. The two cars that we got over there right now, we got one that's a par, and then we got another one that has a Ford head on it with custom parts and stuff in there. But they're a totally different animal. The super high compression. You know, the 4-cylinder deal, Todd was just explaining it to me actually also, but they're super unbalanced. So when you start pushing you off and the wheels start spinning, it just vibrates the whole car, because it's just, I don't know, it's a really weird feeling. But they are very touchy on the throttle. They get up and go, and, you know, pretty quick. But
so once it gets to RPM, the vibration goes away.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's pretty smooth once they get up there, but they're much louder than a sprint car, but the header's
Louder?
also
Oh,
right in your
yeah.
ear too, you know. But yeah, they're insane. But I mean, it's got an injection like a sprint car, just half of it on there, and then all different sorts of heads that guys run, different blocks, all sorts of different combinations. So it's kind of cool. Like the Race Saver stuff, we're tied down to, you know, you have to run this, you have to run that, the rules have to fit this, all of that, and that's not really what these are. It's
Wide open, just as long as it's got
pretty
horse-
much. Yeah, it's really cool.
So it's not based off any kind of a stock block of any manufacturer.
Not necessarily. I think back in the day, I've heard stories of people using like certain blocks and V6 blocks and V8s and that were cut in half and all sorts of that. But mainly the stuff that everybody has now, it's all a cast 4-cylinder engine, or they're making all the high dollar Toyota motors and all of that. That's a billet block as well, just for weight and stuff like that. But they're expensive.
So what is the horsepower? Do you know?
I think he said we're pushing the high 300s.
Okay,
Some of them around here, I think I've heard that are tickling 400, but that's a dyno number. So
yeah,
I mean,
it's a dyno number, not to the ground. What's the car weigh?
I think it's 1150 or 1250 with the driver.
300 horsepower and 1150. Okay,
Yeah.
let's go.
So and they might even be lighter than that. I think the guy that was up here earlier this week said he's down to 1,012 pounds or something like that without the driver. So they're insanely light.
No rule on weight, is there?
No.
This is kind of an open deal, right?
It is.
It's kind of run what you.
They started making some more rules here and there on certain things. But yeah, it's, you know, not as wide open as what it used to be, but for the most part, it's kind of run what you brung.
Yeah.
So shifting gears again to the 305 side of things, you're a national champion for the URSS. Have you been walking by here and seen our schedule out all week?
Oh yeah.
You've probably seen our schedule before we even released it.
Yeah, I've seen it. And then of course everybody that's walking by here, they, you know, see the car and they take a picture and send it to me. So my phone's been blowing up and all that. But yeah, it looks like a really good schedule. I'm excited. I think that's kind of what our 305 series and sprint car racing around us kind of needs, is more of a weekly track that we can go to and try to build on that. So I think it'll go good.
And I'm trying something a little different. Back in the day, we had different regions with URSS. So my goal this year with both the sprint cars and the late models was to give you a home base, okay? The 10 shows home base, and then you have 10, 11 shows outside that we're calling national shows. Some of these weekly shows will be weekly national shows because of the bigger paydays and whatnot. But, you know, like you, that somebody that's wanting to dabble a little bit in the 360, you can run for just weekly points or run just for national points or both, you know, and make a better payday. We're still working on our payout, but each one of those weekly and national is going to pay a points fund. Okay. Right now, we're probably looking to like 1,000 to 1,500 to win like the weekly, and then the 2,500 to 3,000 to win the national. So, at the end, you have a pretty good payday to win the national championship with the weekly.
Yeah.
But it gives you the opportunity to go out and experience some different things too, or just take a weekend off and go to the lake.
Right.
You know, I'm excited the way we've tailored this to hopefully get more drivers to follow it. You know, last year we tried to do 2-day pairings. We did a really good job with it, but we had a lot of shows, and you only missed 2 shows all year long. You know, so there was a heck of a commitment to go run with the URSS like you did. So we appreciate you, Jeremy, and everything that you guys do, and Myers Engine does. I know you work for Craig. He's been a huge supporter of us for a lot of years. So, like I said, it wouldn't be the same without you running our series. But
awesome. Well, thank you.
Well, anyway, so got the L to go. Hope you get in the K. It's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Excited for you. And we're rooting for you, that's for sure.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Going back to we didn't ask about concession stand foods. Now, I remember him growing up and starting out. They used to go to a McDonald's and eat McDonald's before every race. That was part of their deal. Do you still do that?
Oh, we do not. No.
You don't? You quit that?
We got away from that.
And no ice cream either, right?
No, we got away from everything.
Oh, well, there you go.
We did have a lot of superstitions and all of that, and we kind of got to a point where, you know, we kind of said screw it and just tried doing our own deal, and so far it's worked out. So we just kind of put everything in the Lord's hands for the night, and what happens, and we move on. But nope, no superstitions anymore.
I joked with your sister one time. I said she missed a race for a wedding or something, and he won. And I said, Stacy, you can't come back. She says, that ain't happening.
you make your own luck.
But
that's right.
But going back to concession stand foods to racetrack, what's the best item that you've experience at a racetrack with.
Oh, geez. I don't know. I found a burger place over there. I love cheeseburgers, so I'm pretty happy with that. Bridget found her Frito chili pie. We kind of got both of our places that we go to, but the corn dogs are good. The cheeseburgers. Haven't had the chicken on the stick yet. Might try that today.
What's your thoughts on using a cheeseburger for a weapon of defense?
I don't think it would do shit.
Well, it works, doesn't it? We found that it does work.
Earlier we had Jordan Whitehead on the phone, and he's in the pits one night, and he said he wasn't very good with his left, but a guy was kind of mad. He had a cheeseburger in his right hand, so he threw his cheeseburger.
Hey, I sell foot-long corn dogs at Dodge City. At least give you a foot-long poker.
There you go. Yeah, that's funny.
Yes, that's what Jordan, he was using. He wasn't very good with his left, so he had to throw the cheeseburger at him.
That's awesome.
Well,
Yeah.
I appreciate you, Jeremy. You go get ready, and we'll see you next weekend. Crown you our national champion, and tell Kate to behave and stay off those four-wheelers after late night.
I will do that. Well,
We need him whole for next year.
Okay.
Anyway, good luck, buddy. Thanks for taking some time
All
with
right.
us.
Thanks for having me on, guys. Thank you.
No, thanks very much, buddy. Anyway, talking about those superstitions, Nick and I busted one up, and Jake busted one up this year too.
Yeah.
There's supposed to be no chicken on race day. Well, we had chicken on race day, and we won. So that's out the window.
That's out the window.
It's
you
out the
make
window.
your own luck. You really do. It all comes down to preparation and just being in the right place at the right time.
Okay. I went into their house one time. His mother has a daycare, and he has probably, I'm not exaggerating, 100 trophies from when he was racing karts. I mean, there wasn't anybody better in our area racing karts.
Okay, a couple questions I got coming up. Josh, checking the laptop there. This is on my page. What's your thoughts on the big money, 50,000 stock car and 4-cylinder races? Good for the class or bad? I kind of hate seeing top late model and modified drivers dropping down and running them.
Can we take this?
Yeah, take it.
So, as a motor that runs a weekly racetrack, bad. Because I think what happens is people tend to save their race cars. 2 weeks before, a week before, they'll miss a race so they don't tear nothing up so they can go hit those races. And I think that's kind of why maybe the stock car division is where it's at. I'm not saying there's nothing against these big stock car payout shows. They're awesome. They are. They're good. They're good. They're good for the tracks when you can get them. But it hurts weekly racing, in my opinion.
Nick?
I agree with all of that Kyler said. I think that when you have races of that caliber that pay that kind of money, I think you get drivers and really, really smart people in the upper echelons of dirt racing coming down to field cars in that division. And I think that they have a little bit more of an advantage than the guy that races that stock car or whatever it is, every week. Because maybe they don't have access to that technology. So I think that allowing people to race for that kind of money occasionally, I think that's probably okay. But I think they need to be able to qualify for it in some way so that it kind of keeps it kind of keeps it fair.
But double-edged sword, and I say that I was against it, but anytime we can do that to help the class grow, maybe, or whatever. But so I get that you can't go down a class. You're not supposed to go down a class, but we allow it every time a guy to go up a class to race like a one-off midget or jump in a sprint car for one show, for a money show. I don't know that I like that. I think if you're going to do a big money show like that, it's got to be an unsanctioned event.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. Yeah, it really is. It really is a double-edged sword.
Yep. All right, so I hope you answered that question. Next one, questions up is Kyler going to Dodge City. Any chances of all of maybe having some specialty races for the stock cars at all since you took them off the schedule?
No, we're still looking at that. In fact, I was still looking at doing a Dirt Crown show. We're still in the process of looking for something, and we still may add it to our Thursday night Thunder division too. So, like I said, this is not something that I wanted to do. It was a business standpoint. The car counts weren't there. It wasn't paying for itself to have 4, 5, 6 cars to pay as good as we pay for division. So that's why we opted to jump that out. But yes, we're going to try our darndest to get a stock car show or two back at Dodge.
Okay, sounds good. So anyway, hey, 316-462-3673. It's a call-in show. Still up. Got some great callers already so far. And take a few more here. Who knows how long we're going to stay on today, depending on the drivers. I sent Alan to go check and see if Kyle Steppen was ready to go. So he's headed back over, see if we can get Kyle on the phone. And Kyle's one that raced with us at Salt City at the Salt City 100. Raced in the Silver Crown car.
What place did he get? You remember?
I don't remember.
I don't remember. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Should have remembered, but I don't know. He was when we were at PRI, he had his car in a booth, and he was real close to us there at PRI, so it was good to talking to him too and stuff. So, and then he's getting here, so Alan was talking to him earlier in the week, so we'll see if he can get on here.
You know, the only thing I really remember from that event was that I just felt it's over with. The track held up, and it was a good one.
Yeah.
You know,
it was a lot of work, but
yeah. So anyway, Nick, let's flip to Salt City. What do we got? Does everybody kind of talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, we've got some cool races. We're going to kick it off on April 25th, Friday night, with the Heartland Modified Tour. And then following that, May 9th, we're going to have the Thunder Through the Plains URSS Rebel Sprint Series and the Rebel 8 Model Series. And then Friday, May 23rd. Oh, thank you, sir.
Hey, girls. How are you?
Friday, May 23rd, we'll have our IMCA points opener. And then May 30th, we're going to have the ASCS National Tour. So that's going to be June, we're going to have IMCA points race on the 20th. And then July 18th and 19th, we're going to come back with the second annual Salt City 100.
And I got to tease a little bit here, too. We have somebody pretty special going to be there in the July race.
Yep. But we're not going to say who it is.
Can't yet. I'm very, very, very close to saying to agree to his terms, I guess is what I should say. Met with
one of those deals.
Met with him at PRI a little bit, and then he's been calling me since we left PRI and stuff too. So stay tuned for that little tease. But you're not going to want to. So you're going to want to be at the Salt City race in July. I promise you that. So
and then August 22nd and 23rd, we're going to have another 2-day race in August with the Rebel 8 models. Have a 2-day late model race. And then September 19th will be our final points race. And then October 10th and 11th, we're going to have a 2-day ASCS national race there at the half mile.
That's going to be awesome. But, going back to the late model stuff, it's so awesome that we've changed our late model rule package to partner with the Sooners on that show too. So it'll be the Rebel late models with the Sooners. And now even the Rev guys, we're all on the same rule package. So it's going to be nice. I think it's going to build our car counts and help that to where they can go interchange a lot easier than it would be to have to take restrictors out and do all that kind of stuff.
Kind of recap that, because I actually got a phone call yesterday that was asking me to clarify these rules, and I really couldn't answer all of his questions.
Sure.
But so there's not going to be any carburetor restrictors.
No, it's a super late.
You can pretty much run whatever you want for engine.
Yeah.
And we're going to restrict the better engine packages with the tire compound.
Yeah, it's going to be just tire compound. So if you're running like an all aluminum, you'll be on a harder tire than you would be if you're running all steel motor, which would be on a 2. We are going to allow the only difference between us and the Sooners is on that 525 motor, that LS 525. We're going to allow 3 instead of a 4. We'll allow 3
on the right rear.
On the right rear, yeah, open left front and everything, but. Yeah, and then spoilers.
Just the right rear on a 4?
No, on 3.
On the 525 crate, you can run a 3 on the right rear.
But just the 3 on just the right rear, not on the left rear.
Yeah, you can run the other time.
You can run 3s wherever you want.
Yeah.
Okay. I just said right rear. That's why I was just clarifying that.
And then so then you have like a 8-inch spoiler on a like the all aluminum. You can run an 8-inch spoiler. But like on a 604, you can run a 12-inch spoiler. So between tire and spoilers, that's how we're even in the play.
12-inch spoiler. To me, that slow the car down.
It just makes it get a bunch of traction.
Yeah.
Just soft tire and a big spoiler. You basically don't have to lift.
Okay. Game on.
So,
Okay, what else on Salt City? Anything? That's it. We got a few classes still to nominate there too. We got to get which nights we're going to run the super stocks yet, and that sort of stuff too. And we forgot the sport classes on July race too.
Are you going to let me do the Wall of Death at Salt City? We were talking about
that.
Well, we talked about it on the way here.
I know, but you got to tell the listeners what is that.
So you were flying the plane with
you ready,
Josh? So what we're going to do, right? I'm going to get on a motorcycle, and we're going to build this frame, and there's going to be some lattice work and whatnot. We're going to light it on fire, and I'm going to go.
How was that again?
Break right through it, and the crowd's going to go wild.
What do you think, Nick?
And I'm not even going to charge you. I'm not even going to charge you to do it. I mean,
we need to call Dave Labor, make sure we're okay.
Okay.
He's probably here running around somewhere.
Okay, Ed Beckley Jr., let's get her built.
Well, I ain't going to jump nothing. I'm just going to go right through it.
Maybe you can maybe you can ride Josh's Harley.
There we go. Or Josh could ride behind with me.
Harley.
Josh, could you ride on the back with me?
Yeah.
You know, Beckley did that one time. He jumped like 10 trucks, and he had a girl on the back of him. So, no, I think that's going to be fun. We're going to do that.
Or should we do the bus?
Well, we could do the bus too, but I think the Wall of Death sounds a lot funner. I got life insurance now.
Kyler has life insurance now.
I can't hear you, but
we got a special guest coming on, and he is a former Chili Bowl winner.
All right, sorry I couldn't hear with the headphones on. Hi, I'm Phil Nightingale.
Jay Drake.
Jay,
Nice to meet you.
So, what year did you win, buddy?
2001.
Congratulations and great job.
Thank
great
you.
job.
Thank you.
So, from 2001 to 25, how much have these cars changed?
Cars themselves, not a lot really.
Okay.
A lot of the components obviously have been improved. Shock packages are tons better than they were back in the day. Your basic chassis design is not a lot different than it was then. We're down to cars are obviously lighter nowadays. Probably more horsepower.
Yeah.
Not that you really need it at the Chili Bowl, but
Right.
but the engines definitely do make a lot more horsepower than they did back in 2001. Other than that,
Are you still racing?
driving?
Yeah.
No. I got way too old and broken for that. So,
I got it. So when'd you stop racing?
last year I raced anything was 2011.
11?
Yeah.
No, very cool. But 2001 was your heyday, huh? Very good for you.
Yeah, that's when we were fortunate enough to win this race. Ran second again twice just after that, and near misses. But yeah, this is definitely one of my highlights of my career, winning here.
Yeah. So are you here with another cars or anything this year? Or?
Well, when I won, I drove for Keith Coons Motorsports, and now I work for them, help manage their team.
Very cool.
Kind of a.
So you're here in this booth right next to us, then, probably, huh?
Yep. I take care of the T-shirt operation. That's one of my many tasks. Kind of operate that, make sure they got everything they need for that, and then work on day-to-day business in the office. And
yeah, very cool.
We're going to see you at Dodge City on May. What is it? 15th, 16th, and 17th. We got KKM Give Back Show.
Yeah,
Dodge City. We're looking forward to that. Like I said, we have big sprint car shows coming, and I'm excited for them. But I am most excited about this. I love watching those micros.
Yeah, Keith's little micro series is taking off.
Oh, man.
Well, I think what do you have? 7 events last year, and I think they're at 10 or 8 again for this coming year. It's a pretty big show. It's that thing is growing fast and builds a lot of excitement.
And that pays like a $10,000 to win, right? Or they get a Chili Bowl ride.
The final at Port City, the Give Back Classic, pays. What is it? It's either you can take the $15,000 prize winning,
right,
or I think it's $7,500 and a ride at the Chili Bowl Nationals in a Keith Coons midget.
And I guarantee you, if it was me, I would take the 7,500 of Chili Bowl ride.
Yes.
Because they're in a better.
Almost all of them have so far.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty big prize to get to race. Everybody racing micros, I think, has dreams of stepping up into midgets, and especially racing at the Chili Bowl with a top tier team.
Who was the champion at one?
Cale Drake won the race. And obviously he already races for us in the midgets, so he already had the opportunity to come here and race at the Chili Bowl. Last year, another one of our drivers, Gavin Miller, won the Give Back Classic, and Cale Drake ran second, and we were so impressed with him that we gave him the ride for the Chili Bowl, and he's made obviously big waves out of that opportunity. We ended up signing him, and he ran the whole season for us last year. I ended up Rookie of the Year. He was Rookie of the Year at the Chili Bowl.
Wow.
And then
how many shows a year do you guys go to?
We ran 76 midget races last year.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
with a minimum of 4 each one, and
now you have
up to
16
it.
at
And
this
we have 16 of them here.
Wow.
It's impressive and a lot of work for the guys.
Yeah. So these drivers, these 16 drivers, they pay to get in to run with Keith, right?
It's a mixed bag. We have what we call factory drivers. That there's Keith himself has house drivers. Guys that he hires to drive his cars. Toyota backs a few drivers, so they're kind of factory Toyota drivers, bringing them up along their progression, their development program. And then there's a handful of guys that bring sponsorship and fund the operation, especially for Chili Bowl.
Well, I'd hate myself if I didn't ask, but what do you think? Do you think I could be part of that team? Would you consider me
as a driver?
Yeah, like
we could get you in one of them things.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Coming soon to a track near you.
Kyler Fetters, KKM.
No, we'll leave the race nuts to Kelby. I'm just a promoter. No, we appreciate you coming on. We really
You
do.
bet. Thanks for having me. It's a good time. Like what you guys are doing here, and good luck with your season.
Me too. Good luck selling the
Thank
stuff,
you.
and good luck for your drivers. And hopefully, one of your drivers will be. You got an opinion on when your drivers might win it? Which one?
Well, out of the 16, we've only got 2 of them absolutely locked in the show right now. And Emerson Axum, he won on Tuesday night, and pretty big. And I think Gavin Miller got in last night, almost won the feature, and faded at the end there. Ran a good, strong second. But the other nights, Cannon was bad fast on Monday, and then just kind of made a couple wrong decisions at the end and got bumped right out of the transfer spot. Buddy was super fast and had trouble all night long, and still end up coming from the back of the feature to 1 spot out of the transfer. So we've got a pile of them right in the front of the B mains that are also going to get in there. So we're going to have quite a few chances there, and we're confident that they can get it done in 40 laps.
There you go. It's 40. I thought it was 50. It's 40, is it?
I think they backed it down to 40 the last couple of years. They had problems with the track rubbering up, with so many cars and so much track wear throughout the day. It's just hard to keep it good. So they bumped it back to 40 laps, and hopefully to make a better race. But
what's it pay to win? Do you know? Do you know, guys?
I think it's 10,000.
I'm going to say it's gone up to that. It was 12 or 15 now, isn't it?
Yeah.
What can you tell?
When I was a driver, I'd know that number for sure. But
I'm just curious, what was the pay back? Do you remember what the pay was in 2001?
It was 10,000.
10,000.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, it pays a golden driller. Because I guarantee you still got that golden driller sitting on your mantle, but that 10,000's long gone.
That's the prize everybody's after more than the money. All these drivers, they definitely want that golden driller. That's you get one of them on your shelf, and that's a sense of accomplishment for sure.
No kidding.
Absolutely.
There's no kidding for sure. Well, anyway, thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for the information. And Alan said you've been a great partner all week. Sir side with us, so great.
Good
That's
neighbor.
fantastic.
You
Has
bet.
Alan been a good neighbor?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
We've
Don't
had
lie,
some fun.
don't lie.
He's been hospitable. He's let a couple of my guys come and sit their chairs in here and watch the big screen. So
Yeah, well, fantastic.
been
Oh, yeah,
been
big screen's
very
right there, yeah.
hospitable for us.
Well, it's got to be, everybody's got to get along, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It's amazing the people you meet and the relationships you meet in this racing world. That's for sure.
Yep. We're all good friends, and it's a family atmosphere in the racing world for sure.
It is.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for hanging out a little bit. Good luck. And,
You
to
bet.
your
Thank
team.
you guys.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
And again,
Yep.
congratulations on the old Golden Girl in 2001. That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
thanks for that. Seems like so long ago now, but I remember it like yesterday.
I know. I bet you do too. Good job, buddy.
Okay, you guys have.
You bet. Talk to you soon.
Jay Drake.
That was great. I couldn't hear what Alan was saying, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
2001 winner to jump on here with us. So anyway, guys, I tell you, we need to go check on these other drivers, depending on where they're at, what their schedule's at. But I think we need to take a break and come back live once we get these other drivers up and stuff. So everybody, it's been a little longer show as usual, but we knew it was going to be. We had a couple drivers on. Yeah, a couple drivers already, more. So thanks for Jeremy hanging out with us. We'll see where the other guys are at. Kyle Steffen was supposed to be here, but I think he had something going on. So we're going to see if we can get him on here a little bit later. But we're going to take a break in a little bit. And so everybody stay tuned. We'll be back live. Who knows when, but sometime here in the near future before noon, we'll be back live again with some more drivers that we can round up around here from that part.
And today was our release date for the URSS schedule. So Dalton says it's live on the Facebook page and live on the website. So check it out.
It's all there and ready to go. Yep. Fantastic. All right, everybody, stay tuned. Watch your phones for the notification. We come back live. We'll be back live here shortly and talk to a few more drivers. Everybody, thanks for watching, and talk to you soon.